Hi guys, this is Jackson, and we're going to do a review of the app 3D Brain developed by Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory. So we're going to go ahead and click on the app that has the brain icon here. That's the 3D Brain app. And so once it pulls up, we see this whole model of the brain. And this is a 3D model that we can move around, we can zoom in and then zoom out. And so we have the entire brain on here, but we want to break this down, so we can go ahead into the top left corner and click on the Structures tab. So once we do that, we get a whole list of all of the structures that are in the brain, and there's a lot of them, trust me. It shows all the actual structures themselves, such as the amygdala or the pons or the brainstem, but it also shows the systems that are there. So like the frontal lobe, for example, which we're going to click on here. So the frontal lobe here is now displayed on the screen, and as you can see, it's the part that's colored in. So there's 5 different areas that are colored in on there, but we don't know what those are. It's not listed on there. So we can correct that by going into the top right-hand corner, and we can go ahead and click on the Labels tab. So what that'll do is actually it will show us like all of the different parts that are associated with this system. And this will work with any of the systems that you can click on. So this information is really important for finding out exactly where they are, where the different parts are, but also especially for areas that are only located on one side of the hemisphere, such as Broca's area. So we know where these parts are located, but we don't have any information about them, right? I mean, some people will probably know, especially those if you have your students look at this, they're probably going to know a little bit about the functions and whatnot of the different parts of the brain, but we want to know here. So what we can do is go into the upper right-hand corner again and click on this Info tab. And so what this shows us is all sorts of information about the frontal lobe in this case, and this applies to all other things. So we have our case studies that have been involved with it, the associated functions that are involved with the different part of the brain. So for example, for the frontal lobe, as it says here, cognition, language processing, comprehension, all sorts of things are involved with that. Then next we have the 2 sections that are associated cognitive disorders and association with damage. So the cognitive disorders are the ones that have some sort of association with this part of the brain specifically. And then if you look at association with damage, that's basically what happens if it's damaged. So then we have the substructures that are in this particular system, and those will only be included in systems. So if you have something like the amygdala, that won't be included on there, on this info page. And then at the bottom, we have the research reviews and links, which are especially important if you want some more information about it. So, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the information. Like I said, we can just play around here a little bit. We can look at some actual structure like the pons, which is right before the brainstem. We could go in and look at all sorts of different things like the ventricles here too. So it's a really great app, I think, for anyone who's going to teach a biology class or especially a psychology class, actually, because it'll ultimately help your students find out the information about things that are located within the brain, as well as the placement of those. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed.